So now let's talk about option two. For option two, I'm trying to just make some fun here. I mean, a fun activity. I'll actually asking you to watch a lot of cartoons, and this option is just better than, not better than, actually, this option is just better for people who do not have children around and or do not feel comfortable interacting with children, which is kind of weird because this course is about children. But yeah, so for this option, you have to do self-study because I'm going to ask you to read some pages from chapter 13. And I'm gonna ask you to watch a lot of cartoons and analyze those cartoons. So let's begin. Here we're gonna actually pick 4 TV programs. Number one has to be educational TV program like Sesame Street. Number two gonna be Saturday morning cartoons. Nowadays, I guess there is no Saturday morning, but if you do have a favorite one, you can definitely find it somewhere at YouTube and just watch one episode for the sake of this experiment. The other one gonna be one of those sitcoms, for example, Friends or Modern Family or whatever you like, that you know that children, they're gonna watch it with their parents. And the last one gonna be something from your choice. For example, I had students, they would just go for some TV shows like You, or I guess last year there was a student, they did Rick and Morty. So it's just totally up to you. So there are gonna be 4 TV shows. You're gonna literally watch one episode of randomly because it is an experimental design. And you're gonna watch one episode randomly and from each category of 4. Then you're gonna analyze, like count and record the number of violent or aggressive occurrences during that episode. You're going to consider overt versus reactional and instrumental versus relational aggression for the sake of this task. Maybe you just ask yourself, oh, what is overt aggression? What is relational? The answer is here. You have to actually go to chapter 13. You need to read page 520 and try to just understand, like make a note for yourself, tell yourself this is relational, this is overt, and this way you're gonna understand what is that specific sort of aggression. The next step gonna be watching those episodes and try to identify those like parts in the cartoon. So this way you can just do this study. Another part, I mean, another interesting idea here is checking chapter 14, page 572. It is mostly about moral development, so it can just help you a lot to try to just relate the impact of, for example, aggressive behaviors in cartoons to moral development in children. It can just help you with the result part of the video, which I'm going to tell you. For the analysis part, okay. So basically, you're gonna pick 4 cartoons or 4, I mean, 3 of them definitely cartoons. The last one gonna be your favorite TV show, one episode of each of them. Then you're gonna watch them, count the occurrences of those aggressive coincidence during that cartoon. Then you're gonna answer these 6 questions for each episode. And for example, you're gonna say that, oh, is like Modern Family actually portraying more instrumental versus relational aggression? Is there like more physical versus just verbal aggression in Friends versus Sesame Street? So this way you can just understand it better. Or another question is, what kind of behavior actually, other than aggression, my children have learned from these programs? So it is like the parts that you have to add it to your documentation. So this way you're gonna have a careful notes of each program, and I mean each episode of those programs, and you can just, build up your own study. Like I said, this project is just totally tied to chapter 13, but only one page that you have to read, page 520. If you want to be more creative, you can go to page 572. But keep that in mind, this project can be very much related to ESM model that we talked earlier in chapter 1. Try to use your creativity and the concept that you actually learned from the course and make the project interesting. So just to clarify, we do have two options. Option number 1 for people who actually have kids around. Option number 2 for people who don't have kids around. Option number 1 is all about Piaget. You do have 3 options from option number 1. You can go for conservation of number or mass or liquid. Option number 2 is for people, they don't have kids around, they have to watch TV and they have to read 1 page from chapter 3, right? For both of these options, you need to submit a video that is 2 minutes with the same criteria. That being said, for option number 2, you have to start with a preview page. Then you're gonna introduce yourself. Again, you're gonna say that, hey, my name is Armita. I don't know, I'm a freshman. I mean, freshmen, they cannot take developmental psych. So let's say I'm a junior at in psychology, Georgia State University. This is fall 2024, etc. I'm gonna actually talk about Sesame Street versus Rick and Morty versus etc. and go on. You're gonna go on and talk about them. For example, you're gonna say that, oh, I could see actually 12 relational aggression in Sesame Street versus only 2 overt aggression. But I could see a lot of verbal aggression in Rick and Morty. Duh, it is all about aggression. So then after talking about numbers and answering some of those analysis questions, you're gonna smoothly go to your results section. You're gonna say that, hey, I actually noticed that Rick and Morty is more or less XYZ than, for example, Friends as a sitcom. Then you're gonna go to your own conclusion. You would just say that, yeah, for example, parents, they shouldn't allow their kids, or maybe they should allow them, but kind of supervise them during their TV time, or parents, they actually should choose the kind of TV programs that children watching because of the amount of aggressive behaviors, right? So the whole idea here is just making science understandable. Sorry, it was my lotion. Making science understandable and help you just create your own experiments. So after finishing those videos, you're gonna edit the videos and make it for like 2 minutes. You have to follow specific hashtags, which gonna be your name, your course. Just copy and paste these ones into your own video caption, because you have to actually upload your video in YouTube for me. I'm going to talk about this soon, and you're going to tag me. So this way I can just be able to watch your video. You're going to upload the link on iCollege as well in the Dropbox that I actually made on iCollege. I reserve the right for myself to use the videos for educational purposes, which mean like next semester, I'm gonna have new students and I probably show some of your videos to them the way that I'm doing that for you. So just to clarify, I know that some of the students, they don't feel comfortable enough to sit in front of camera and just talk about their experiments. Or if you are going for option number 1, some parents, they don't feel comfortable to show their baby's face. That is fine. You don't need to just literally show the baby. But if you want to show the baby and parents are okay, that is fine. Otherwise, you can just talk about the baby. If you don't feel comfortable to show your face, that is fine. Make a presentation, page 1, 2, 3, and just talk about the preview page, then the procedure, result, and conclusion. And we are done. But I prefer to just see you because I feel like we are doing psychology here. So if we are not feeling comfortable talking about our science, showing our face, so what is the purpose of, just doing that kind of jobs in psychology. Because if you're gonna work with children, you have to show your face. If you want to go outside, talk about your science, people are gonna see you, ask you questions. So it's good to practice from now. If you don't feel comfortable about your voice, you can use auto-generated voice. I know, for example, TikTok has it, or there are like some other platforms. I guess it's CapCut that you can just use auto-generated as well, or simply you can just Google. I mean, nowadays life is just very easy. So whatever question you don't know, just Google and try to find the answer. It's going to be a project for you as well. You can just feel more comfortable addressing your own problems by yourself. Try to make a description of the video, like when you are talking about the research question, for example, analyzing the number of aggressive behavior in TV programs. Make it simple and understandable for someone who is not expert in psychology, or for someone who doesn't have any idea about aggressive behavior on TV. Just make it as simple as possible. Just imagine the person who is watching your video is not me. It's just someone, a mom maybe out there on YouTube that randomly Googling for something and your video gonna pop up. So keep that in your mind. Make the video fun and creative because they're gonna be extra credit for this assignment. For students who are really creative, they are going above and beyond for this task, I would definitely give them 5 points. I mean, up to 5 points actually. So do your best. This way you can just add up to your final project. I actually, and also final grade. I actually had students previous semesters, they were like 75, like their final grades. It was like around 75, but they did a great job in their observation project. And like the video was just super creative. So I gave them like 5 extra points. This way, I guess they finished the class with 100. So it can literally change your life. So it can make like a B plus, or an A minus, A plus probably. So it's just up to you. Be creative. So here I'm just talking about extra credits. Just read this criteria, make sure you would understand it, and or email me. I can just give you more hints. But like just imagine when you are coming up with an idea that Piaget didn't mention, I didn't mention in my lectures, but you actually discovered that by interacting with the kids, or if you actually have a suggestion for parents that have, for example, a good TV time with kids, but actually keep children safe from that kind of negative behaviors on TV. If you have a suggestion based on articles that you read, or a book that you read about children's, or based on your background, maybe you're working at a daycare, or at a pre-K, or like summer. So try to just be creative, add more visuals. I'm going to show you some fun videos by my students, but yeah, that's the whole idea of extra credit. So like I said, grading criteria, we do have a rubric for that, but for now it is like 20% of your final grade. They're going to be preview page explaining your research in simple words, showing some examples, and a clear conclusion plus your own insight. Whenever you are doing your own insight, don't make it like very firm, because like everyone can be wrong. I'm wrong like every day. So just keep that in your mind. And just say it in your video. Hey guys, this is like my perspective. This is not science. I feel like maybe that kind of behavior could be helpful. And also I do have an advice here that can help you with your extra credit. Just try to mention what is your suggestion and what can be achieved from your research. Like, yeah, you are doing like, I don't know, conservation of numbers, but what can I achieve as a mom by watching your video and understanding if my kid can, for example, understand the idea of numbers or math. Try to just, actually think out of the box, be a better problem solver. Just show yourself here for me. So try to actually meet all of these checkpoints before uploading your video on YouTube and also uploading the link on Dropbox on iCollege. I said discussion post, but as of now, I mean, I'm actually thinking about that. I'm going to tell you, but there is no discussion post for now.